and spend so many hours of anxiety, time, money, just for this little spot right up in here. And I thought, you know what? Let's own that spot, man. Years over these past 6 years, 6.5 years, it's progressed rapidly. This is my thing. I have hundreds of hats, and you hide it. You hide it. The depression is real. Your self-worth is affected. It's who you are. My hat off, but this is my head.
That's the situation. Yeah.
I plan on shaving today.
So let's proceed.
It's great to talk to you. It's really pleased to see you here. Thank you so much for reaching out. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to talk to you. So just go for it, man. Yeah, go from the top. How did all this happen?
Well, first of all, I'd like to just say thank you. And I know I'm saying this from a million men and boys, that your podcast has something different than everyone else's. And there's other ones out there, and they're all good. I mean, I commend them for trying to help people with this problem, because I believe it's even deeper than most people have realized, because you hide it. You hide it. The depression is real. The your self-worth is affected. It's who you are. So especially as a young man, I couldn't imagine. I can still remember seeing some hairs in my hand. I brushed my hair and see a few, and this was in my 30s, and I thought, I don't have a history of my parents to fall back on. I never knew my father or my grandfather on either side. So, and I've never seen pictures of them, without going too deep into that. I don't have that history to look at. Not that it's always accurate anyway. But I don't have that. But everyone's always, praised me about my looks and my hair and all that. And I think I mentioned this earlier. I was a bit vain as a young man. My wife still claims it's there, but my hair was like my thing, man. I really just felt like it was my thing. So to see the first picture, my son, he's 36, my oldest. I have 7 children, Harry, and my oldest is 36, and I have 2 stepdaughters. He got married 6-7 years ago. And then the picture of the wedding, I knew that I had been receding, and I'd been, I was fixing it, still combing it pretty regularly. I wasn't doing comb overs or anything, but I was, just kind of patting it down and kind of hiding a little bit. But in the pictures, I could see my crown. The first time in my life that I saw a bald spot, and I was like, I'd never taken mirrors, and I never did that, So it was bizarre. I was like, oh my God! I told my wife, look at this picture, And of course, people, my family, I have a vast family, but they all kind of said, oh, I can see, they teased a little bit about it. Well, over the years, over these past 6 years, 6.5 years, it's progressed rapidly, and I wore this hat to start off just to show you, this is my thing. I have hundreds of hats, and I think I teased with you on Instagram about having a hat sale, because I have hundreds. So my hat off, but this is my head.
That's the situation. Yeah.
And so I got the horseshoe, And so I've been fighting with it. I've used this Topic product for the past 2 years, and just kidding myself, it did make it look thicker. Obviously, I wouldn't have used it. I thought I was pulling it off with the sprays and the whole bit, just trying to hold on. There's a special event coming. I don't want to, show up and everyone freak out that I'm bald, because I've been disguising. It's almost like wearing a toupee. Whenever there's a special event, there'd be a wedding, Thanksgiving, Christmas, so forth, I'd do the Topic. If I wasn't at a special event, I had a cap on, always. Yeah. And people just knew me as a cap. I was a baseball player all my life, so I wore baseball hats even as a young boy before my hair ever fell out. So it wasn't like a transition into a hat. I always wore hats anyway. Yeah. So it wasn't that big a thing. Even though I do get teased about it sometimes, like, I've never seen you without your hat off, So, and I would just play it off, but I'm ready to just let it go. I've come to the point. I'm 6. I just turned 60 this June.
I'm like, and you look great. I couldn't believe it when you told me that. I couldn't believe it when you told me you were 60. I honestly couldn't.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Harry. I take care of myself. I'm good on the health. I work out. I go to the gym every day. I'm active. I obviously have some good genes, I guess, from my mom, because, or my dad possibly, I don't know, but my mom is 83 and she's like a little fire pistol. You wouldn't think she's 83. She's amazing, this amazing woman. I'm thinking, I see the testimonies of these guys that you have on here, including yourself. And I love the video of you. You realize that you were going bald. It cracked me up. Yeah. I mean, I have to tell you, it cracked me up because, when you're looking back, and I had those same kind of thoughts. I didn't have the idea of video, and I wish I had, because I would look just pretty much like you, Harry, going, what the hell? What the fuck's going on?
Literally.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. My life's over kind of thing, man. It's like, and I wasn't 25. I think you said you're like 25 or something. I was like, I was like 42 when I started to, think, man, this is happening. And then at 52, 53 is when I saw that picture for the first time with my own eyes. So I thought, I had such thick hair. Even when I used to go get it cut, they'd say, they needed special scissors to cut it. So I think that's why it took so long. I have Indian heritage. I have Indian heritage, and Italian Indian, American Indian. So I think maybe, and I don't know. It's just in my mind. I'm thinking that's why it took so long. But I'm like, come to the crossroads. I'm like, you know what? This is it. Your testimony and the many people and the way you walk them through. And I just think, and I know there's probably some out there that go, damn, why'd I do this? And they don't come on, or whatever. I'm sure there's everything out there, Harry, but the energy that comes from your podcast and your Instagram is just, I can't say enough. It's genius to me. I think it's really, and I mean that, that's for you. I would say that because it's so important. Even now I have butterflies flying through my stomach. I'm 6 years old. Get over it, dude. Get over yourself, man.
It comes a time, where I'd love to dig a bit deper, and all I can assume is this is what has happened. It comes a time where you just get tired of it. When you're, like you said, when you're using the topic for those special occasions, and like you said, kind of covering it, hiding from it. I think as it goes on, for the time goes on, the burden gets more so, right? It gets a bigger burden. It gets more just mental energy to sort of deal with it. And I guess you've just come to the point where you kind of must know yourself, like, look, I've got to just get this dealt with, over and done with. And I guess I think the podcast and things like that, and guys sharing their story, is just that little, like, it just lights that flame. It just makes people realize, like, you know what, exactly, these guys are doing it. And you reflect on yourself and you think, I can do that too. And I can get rid of this,
Yeah, and a gentleman told me years ago, Harry, it was something I was going through in life with my first wife, and I was getting divorced, and I lived in a small town, and this is 20 years ago, and I went to talk to someone about it because I was just depressed about, in the town I just was well known, and people, it was a small town, everyone knew everyone. But I just felt like everyone was talking about me and talking about, my divorce. And he said to me, and I'll never forget it, and I've shared it many times, is, one day there's somebody going to be riding down Main Street on a bicycle with an American flag, and they're naked, and everyone's going to be laughing and pointing at them. But you know what? The next day, their life's gone. That guy's gone, man. So, if they're so caught up in your head about your baldness, then, I think your young boy said, his girlfriend, he was afraid about his girlfriend. Well, that's not the girl for you, bud. That's not the girl. That's not the girl. That really is a blessing, because you found out right away that she's not the girl.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So,
really?
That advice was really good. That people have lives. They're not going to be worried about you tomorrow. Today you're the guy on the bike naked going down the street. They see your head and go, hey, shaved, Some may never say anything. But the next day, it's going to be their bills. It's going to be their car. It's going to be their kids, whatever the hell, So I think that's great advice. Great advice to not get, too caught up in that.
Definitely. It's true. We get into this sort of trap of constantly focusing on and thinking that all these people are focused on you or thinking about your head. But it's true that, and guys often realize this after they take that step and shave it off, and they realize that the only person who's really thinking about it and giving it any thought, trapping yourself in that, is ourselves, is ourselves.
Yes, sir.
People people make comments and things like that. You know, it happens, not often, but it happens. But nothing like how much we focus on it, where we think people are, you know, going to be, oh, did you see that guy today? Like, you know, he's bald. I can't believe it. You know, oh, he's losing his hair or whatever. Now he's gone bald. Like, that just doesn't happen because, like you said, everyone's worried about their own things, you know?
You know, I went to a baseball game here recently. You know, like I mentioned in the beginning, special events, I would make sure I had my topic, you know, and one time I was running out of topics, started freaking out, you know, like it's controlling you, you know. So going to a baseball game, Harry, with a bunch of my employees from my business, and we're at the game, and I forgot, you're singing the national anthem. You got to take your hat off, you know. You can't take your hat off, you know. It's called respect, right? Took my hat off, and it's hot. I'm in Savannah. It's 100 degrees here, like 6 months a year. I mean, it's hot. So I take my hat off, and I'm sweating. My head's all, you know, it's a mess, a total mess. And the girl next to me, Leslie, sweetheart of a girl at work, she's one of my administrative secretaries, and she goes, looks up at me. She's kind of short. She looks at me, and she goes, "Wow." She goes, "You've really lost some." You know, she said it, and I could just feel the red flushing through my face. Like, and I looked at her. You know, I said, "Yes," and this is not long ago. And I said, "Yes." I said, "It's about to change, Leslie." And she patted me on the back, and she goes, "You're still so handsome." You know, some compliment.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, you know, and so I thought after that day, and it's really amped up my desire to get it over with, you know, because I was called out for the first time in quite a while. Very rarely have I been caught without something on my hair, you know, where, you know, for the last 7-8 years, man, I've been adamant about fixing it and never being seen. My in-law, my wife's mom is a very religious girl, and she believes in you shouldn't have a hat on in the house. She's like old school and that sort of thing. And so she's kind of reduced that down to you never wear it to the dinner table. So whenever we're up in Lynchburg at dinner, I'm always prepared. It's in my mind before we even get in the car in Savannah to go there. I have to cover myself for dinner. You know.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have a random dinner where everyone's walking around eating, no big deal? Or if we're sitting at the table, I gotta take my hat off. And when I take my hat off, everyone's like, "Oh, Rick doesn't have his hat on." It's said every time almost. You know, I love you when you don't have your hat on. I love it. Well, what they don't know is that what they're looking at is not really my hair. You know, Harry.
Yeah.
So I feel like a phony fake, and which I am, because I'm faking them out that I still have this hair and I don't. So so I got a wedding coming. My daughter's getting married in October 19th. My son's in the Marines. My last son, he went to the Marines. He's over in Parris Island, South Carolina. So proud of him. He's like, the letters are hilarious. He's such a witty hoot. I mean, he's a hoot. He just cracks us up. We get letters almost daily from him. It's the one thing they get to do because you can't talk to him, you know. And they're beating the hell out. They're beating the hell out of him. He's like, "Dad, this is total ass." He's, you know, the Marines, you know, they're just kicking his butt. Well, he's coming to the wedding, to my daughter's wedding, and it's a big deal. You know, it's a huge deal. And I'm thinking about my hair. I'm thinking, as soon as we talk about it, how long do I have? You know, what kind of haircut am I going to get? You know, because I wear it tight on the side, as you can see. And so now I'm going bald. I'm going bald, and I'm gonna own it, and I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna kill it. That's my goal. You know, I'm gonna kill it, and
that's exactly.
There'll be some chatter, but you know they're gonna either like it, love it, or hate it. But that's on them.
Do you know what I'm telling you? This is why you know I'm excited we're having this conversation, and you're going to do this because, be like when you mentioned the baseball game there, right? You know, that conversation where someone points it out, like, oh, you know, wow, I didn't realize like how much your hair was going. But then the next conversation you have like that will be someone who sees you without the hat, you know, with the shaved head, and they'll say to you, oh, like you shaved your head, like what, you know, what's this about? And when you can say for the first time, the hair was going, I didn't like it, and now I just shaved it and it feels great. And literally people just, good for you, man. Literally just good for you. It looks great. You're killing it, you know, and that's it. It stops there. And it's such a good feeling.
And I've practiced that speech. Okay. I've practiced it. You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to own it. I'm going to kill it. And that's what it is. I'll tell you, Harry, for years, I've always had this complex about my ears, because I had my ears stick out, right? And my wife's like, right. I love your ears. Just like she always said, I love your bald spot, you know? And so I'm thinking, hell with my ears. They're going to stick out. I don't care. Who gives a crap? So 60 years I've had these damn ears. Eric?
Yeah.
So, really? You guys to worry about my damn ears? So I'm like, Rick, get over your damn self. Really quit worrying about the stupid things. I'm such a blessed man. I have, like I say, 7 children. I have 4 grandbabies. Incredible wife, incredible life. I'm like the most blessed guy, man. And I'm like always telling myself, you're worrying about the dumbest crap on the planet, man. Many folks would look at you and say you're being a fool, and I am. I believe that as well. God is so great, man. So I'm like, and so I'm healthy. I have incredible, like I say, family support, and they will all support me. My son, my oldest son, Ricky Jr., the 36-year-old, he's always talking about my health. You got this, Dad. What am I looking forward to? Blah blah blah. Well, he has a wonderful head of hair, so he's a funny kid too. He's going like, Pops, really? Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know that I'm bald headed. I can tell you, he does not know. And I was at my wife's 80th, mother's 80th birthday party, Harry, and we're all sitting at this big formal dinner. There's like 30 of us, and we're all dressed up to the nines, and I got my topic in, and I'm all sprayed up and all that bit. And her youngest daughter, Emily, who's just the sweetest child ever, she's 22 in college, and she walks by and she rubs the top of my head like this.
Right. Yeah.
So we have that relationship. We hug, and she's just a dog, right? And she's taking me as her stepdaddy, and she's like a kid to me, and she rubs my head. Well, later on, she didn't say anything, so I was like, shit. I go to the bathroom. I get my phone. I pull up the mirror, and I'm like a complete fool, right? There's nothing I can do. I don't have anything with me, so I just, I go through it. It was okay, but she shared it with my wife. She was, why does Ricky put that stuff in his hair? She was like, he doesn't need to do that. He needed. And they had that private conversation, which she doesn't know I know. My wife has kept that. But my wife told me about it when I told her about my journey here, that I'm doing this. She goes, well, I'm so happy. I'm so glad. I would get out of bed. The first time I get out of bed, put my hat on. As soon as I get out of bed, let my 4 dogs out, go make coffee, keep the hat on. My wife, and then I'll get off get in the shower, put it back on. But my wife's like, Ricky, I know what your head looks like, okay? She goes, I know what it looks like. So, and she goes, just shave it off. And she doesn't want me to like bald it up. She doesn't want the smooth, but I'm thinking that's where I'm headed. I think I want it completely off. And I'm gonna grow my beard out a little bit too.
Yeah. You got some nice dark
and
facial hair there.
Yeah, and your one question that I commented on this morning about your beard. You had a shot without, and I said, yeah, rock it, man. You look fantastic. I love the beard, bald headed look, man. I think it's awesome. And so I don't know how long my wife will let me grow this out, but we'll see.
Try it. It's a good time to try some different styles. Some short, bit longer. Shape it in a bit, and it's a fun thing to do. And just because you take the hair off doesn't mean you can't take pride in your appearance. We talk about it all the time.
Yes, sir.
Take care of your health, and you still need to take care of yourself, the way you look, and it's just a clean look. And man, it sounds, from the way you're describing it, with even those, like you said, you thinking about things in the future. Oh, are we going to have dinners? Are there going to be any surprise moments where I'm going to have to take the hat off? And like you said, like mentally, that's just such a weight on your shoulders to have all the time.
Horrible.
But like you said at the start of this conversation, you said it's silly and things like that, and it does feel like that. I think a lot of guys know that this is kind of silly, but it's real. It's real. It's real things that guys fear. It's a real thing that makes us feel anxious and down on ourselves about it. And that's why I'm so thankful that we're doing this. We're doing the podcast. Even you sat here without the hat. That speaks volume. That's got to speak volumes to yourself. That you're ready to do this.
Oh, definitely.
Because I'm sure there was a where you would have thought, oh, I'm gonna sit here on the internet, without this hat, showing this off. So you've obviously come a long way with it, and so it sounds like you really are, ready to just be done with this now.
I am, Harry. I really am. I've watched all your shaving. You've been on my computer many hours, dude. I've watched how you shave, how you take care of it, all of it. all of it. I'm taking pictures and notes about all of it because I'm going to live it and I'm going to live it well, man. And then I've decided, um, I can't, the young men is where my heart really, and I was telling my wife this morning, and I said, I'm 60, most people say, most men are bald in their 60s already, blah, 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 whatever. That really doesn't minimize the emotions and the things that can happen to you at 60. It doesn't mean just because you're 60 that you don't have those emotions. It doesn't.
Exactly.
Of course, if you're 20, it's tenfold, I'm sure, or more. It's like, Jesus mercy, and I didn't have those. I didn't have that. And but I can only imagine these young boys you have on here. I just love it when they own it, they rock it, and they say, this is the greatest damn thing I ever did. And I believe it. I believe it. And as I said, life is so short. You don't know what the hell's coming tomorrow. So you got to just take it, man. Just take it, own it, live it. Like I say in my bio, you said, live well. Live well. Treat people good and be honest and just live it, man. And I believe that. And so I plan on shaving today. I already made the plan. I'll record it. Now I don't have a lot to shave, but I'm gonna take it down.
Hello, Harry. It's Ricky again. And I'm sitting in the bathroom, very nervous. Got my trusty little razor here. Getting ready to do the deed. My beautiful wife is here. She's not on video, but you will hear her giggling and cackling and carrying on probably as I'm doing this. You gave me some tips on where to start and how to do this, so let's proceed.
Is it on one?
Yeah. What do you think, though?
Good.
Crazy, right? Feels crazy, Harry. Feels amazing and crazy all at once. Something I've actually dreamed about doing many times. Like my head's a little white back there. Living in Savannah, you get kind of dark. Baby, you laughing? Because you don't get to the top, right? Where the rubber hits the road. Whew. Here we go, Harry. Going down the main strip. Whew. Oh. Harry! My razor died! I had to plug it in. So here we go. This is crazy awesome. What are you thinking, Liz?
You look the same to me.
Baby.
There's no hair.
All right, Harry. Whew. Crazy, Harry. Loving it. I'm loving it, though. Looks like my head's round. That's good. As I told you, I got a size 8 head, so I was worried about it looking like a basketball. Whoa, see the old chunk?
Other than that, now I have some streaks.
Some streaks. That's a little hard area back there. Harry, I want to thank you again, man. I can't say it enough. The strength that you and your podcast and all the men before me, young and old, that have gone through this whole experience, and the power, the strength that you give with yours and the other testimonies about the depression, the anxiety, and the complete lifestyle of being ashamed of your head because of hair, crazy hair. And this here has really empowered me at this moment to do this, Harry. What do you think, Lulu?
Sexy.
Baby says sexy, Harry, so that's a good thing. How's it back?
It's good.
So we'll do the follow-up chat and see how we go, okay? Thank you, sir.
There we go.
There you are. There you are. Oh, it's looking great, man. It's looking great.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. It feels incredible. Absolutely incredible. I was nervous. You know, I've been nervous for so long, but once I had the razor in my hand and had and seriously, I mean this, had your voice in my hand as well. And I thought, you know what? What's he say? Go for it. And I just went for it, man. I was like,
Yeah.
this is it. There's no, you know, I've made up my mind, and that's the biggest thing. Once your mind is ready, physically, it's weird, it's nerve-wracking, and all that comes with it, but it's empowering. I felt this strength, you know, and I thought, you know, just go for it, because I see so many young men and more men, you know, pause and wait and have that fight, that inner fight with themselves, and the fear of all that. And I thought, you know what, the fear's gone. Fear's gone. Yeah. I've released it. You know, I've released it. It's gone. Now it's time to get on. It's time to get on with it, man. You know, so and so, you know, that first run across the top of my head, as you'll see in the video once you get it. I mean, it was like, I was like, you know, I wanted to start right here actually, and I thought, you know, I'll do it on the side and then get there. But you know, that's the part that I've been doctoring and working on, and spending so many hours of anxiety, time, money, all of these things, just for this little spot right up in here. And I thought, you know what? Let's own that spot, man. Let's own it. Yeah. Get rid of what's up there and just go on, man. You know. So I'm loving it. You know, my head is decent shape, which is great. I thought it would be. A little white in some spots, you know. But yeah, I'm in Savannah, so you get sun. It's always warm here. So, and now I got to go out into the world and check it out, man. Just check it out, you know. And you know what's going to happen? I already know. No one's going to say crap, Harry. No one's going to say anything. They're not going to say anything. You know? No one's going to say. Maybe, you know, you might get a few looks here and there, like you would if you had, a mole on the side of your face or whatever. You know, just whatever. You know, silly stuff. You know, like your beard. People look at your beard. And go, look at that beard. Yeah, okay. It's all. Yeah. You know, it's just.
It's just so good. I can't believe it, really. Well, I can believe it because I knew we were gonna. I've been doing this long enough to know we were gonna have this conversation. But you know, from that first conversation and you describing to me, you know, what it's been like all these years. You know, the fact that people didn't even know this was going on. You know, we're talking about those dinners, and now to see you here, it's just that weight lifted. You know. And I'm so pleased for you.
It really is. You know, I was thinking to myself, you know, I went in, after I did it, you know, in between here, I took my topic, threw it in the trash, but I still have, you know, I threw it in the trash, you know, I just got rid of it, you know, I was like,
that's so good. Yeah.
The hairspray in the trash, man, you know, like, you know, this is me, you know, and my wife loves it, you know, she loves me for me. So, but she loves it, you know, she did a couple swipes across there like that, you know, and it was just, it was invigorating. It was inspiring. It was just so many emotions. I can't, you know, they just was flushing out of me as I was doing this. After so many years, like I say, with a lot of younger guys, and I don't take anything from anyone, but they may go through it for a couple years, 3 or 4 years. This has been a 20-year venture for me, a 20-year journey, I would say, that I knew that I was losing my hair in my early 40s. Early 50s, that's when the doctoring and all the little silly things I was doing to make it look like nothing was going on. And then the last 3 or 4 years, just complete fake hair, with this Topic product, so it's nuts, man. It's so cool. So cool. And I'm like excited about just going somewhere, just letting it roll and letting it roll, It's like, this is me. Love me. Love me or not, this is me, because I know my heart, I know my mind, I know the person I am. It has nothing to do with my hair. Okay, it has zero to do with my hair. It's all about me, So, so that's the exciting part. That's a very exciting part. And I've already right away. I got the thought, oh man, going to the wedding, and I'm like, be quiet, Rick. This is it, man. This this is over. All that's gone. You ain't got to worry about it anymore, because this is who you are. And they're gonna love you just like who you are, So, and I'm thinking,
it's true. It's so true. It's so true. And you just got to get out there, and you're really gonna, I'm glad you're excited to do that, because it's gonna show you, that all this stuff you're saying is just completely right. People aren't gonna batter an eyelid. When you tell people about what you've done and why you've done it, they're gonna pat you on the back. They're gonna say, "Good for you," And you could just put all of that, those feelings, all those negative feelings that what you had before are gone in the trash. With the Topic, with the hairspray, Yeah.
And I got 42 employees here for my company, right? So I'm gonna rock it tomorrow. I'm gonna roll up in that office without my hat on. And then that's going to be, that won't be just a passing moment. It's going to be a deal. It's going to be a conversation, but it's going to be one conversation, and that's it for me. They may have some city chat, when I'm gone, say, "You believe Rick did that? You believe?" But I think it's going to be all positive. I don't think they're going to say, "Oh, it looks horrible. Why would he do that?" No, they're gonna hear a little bit from me in that what I've been doing. I'm gonna give them a testimony that I've been faking it, man. I've been covering it up, and I want to say that to people, people I love and people that know me and care about me. I want to say, I've had this tied up inside me for a long time, and I've been disguising it. You don't know it because I'm a cheerful guy. You wouldn't know that things are bothering me, because I have a way of compartmentalizing these things, and so they're going to be like, wow. Someone will, like my employee that saw me take my hat off at the game, she may have shared the fact that I had lost more hair or whatever, because she's been with me for 8 years. So she's seen me at other events, weddings and so forth, with hair. What at least thought was my hair, but it wasn't hair. It was Topic, or something. I was doing something to it. So it's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to bopping in there tomorrow morning, and I can assure you, I have some very, very comical, witty, smart folks that work for me, and they're gonna have a blast with it. And I look forward to them having a blast, man. I'm gonna have it with them. I'm gonna have it with them. So
that's what I mean. That comes. It's a part of it, and it's a part of that. When you're not hiding anything anymore, you can really do that, and comfortably. You can comfortably have that, jokes and laughs, like you said, you have with your family and with these people, and it's, and you have full confidence in yourself, and it makes doing those things even more enjoyable, because it's coming from a real, like, solid place.
Yeah, exactly. And, we talked about, coming down to a 3 and 1 and shaving. My wife wants me to leave it like it is and not shave at the moment. Okay, I can do that. I like it like it is, just a little bit there. But I think there's come a day where I'm just going to break that razor out and give it a good run. I already can feel that happening. But I'll have to say, Harry, this is like, it's almost like I have like hyperventilation going on a little bit. That's how excited I was. That's why I said I was freaking out. Freaking out was excited because it's like, my wife understands and she's my big support, but she really doesn't understand really truly what has just happened, what has just took place. You really don't understand unless you do it, unless you're in those shoes. You can think you feel it, but you don't. You really don't. And I tried to explain it to her. I was like, baby, I can't put into words what just went on in that bathroom. I can't tell you what the buildup over the years, decades really, or really a decade, I would say, of thinking of that's what I'm going to do. I always convince myself, you know what? When it gets to a point, I'm shaving it off. Well, it's easy to say. So simple to say that. But but when the rubber hits the road, it's a whole different story. It's a whole different story. Yeah. So, and that's what I meant earlier about your strength, and I mean this sincerely, your strength, your podcast, the strength that it gave me, and I know many others, there's no question in my mind, to say, you know what, I'm going to shave it, or just words, but I knew that's exactly what I needed to do. And I knew that's exactly what I was destined to do. It's just a matter of when. So I knew I was going to wait till we talked, because I wanted to make sure I documented it. I want to make sure that it was on film. I want to make sure it was taped, that this is what happened. This is what I would go through. And if some of these words can help another person, then that's just icing on the cake, because it's changed me in just this last hour. I've changed. Not completely, but I've changed. I've changed a lot. And this old guy right here, I was like,
don't get that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not gonna wear a hat anymore, man. I may at some point, I'm sure I will some, but it won't be my everyday. Everywhere I go, every place you see me, I have a hat. I even have them stashed in my truck just in case. One got wet, I change out. I mean, it's absurd, the effort, the energy, and the time and energy that I put into not letting people see my bald head. Okay, Harry, which sounds crazy. It sounds vain as hell, and it is. I get it. It's some of that's in there. I get it. But the shame, it's just being ashamed of your damn head, man. It's just, to me, it's crazy now. Crazy. It's like.
And I think that's why it's the excitement now, and it feels so good now to get rid of that, because of just how crazy, it makes you feel, and crazy, and you do crazy things when you're dealing with the hair loss. And when you finally shut that door, like we said, when you give it the finger, when you say, I'm not having that anymore, and you do it, that's why this stuff feels so good. And we're seeing so many guys now, time and time again, say the same thing. When they do this, we're not making this stuff up. You're here in the proof. It's just, you've just gone through it to show like it's real. When you shave it, when you embrace it, when you go all out like that, you really are moving on for good. And it's just honestly, it's just the best way to deal with it, deal with this hair loss stuff.
And a lot of things that you've said in the past, and others have said, that stuck with me, is there's so many other areas of your life that are important. Your health, your getting in shape, or just your overall looks, or your overall personality of how to treat other people, how to treat yourself, is so much more important than your head. And I think taking the energy away from your head and putting it into other places, I already feel it, man. I don't want to sound kind of crazy and goofy, but I feel it. I feel like, what, yeah. This is like a chapter that is now gone, that has been, as I say, a big old weight on my shoulder for so long. I mean, I can't say, and I can't even express it, how much it's been harboring me. That's been bugging the hell out of me. And seriously, dumping crap on my head, and all this crap, man. And it's for what, man? It's for what? I mean, Harry, I even put some topic in a Ziploc bag one time and kept it in my pocket just in case. Wow. I was out there and it started to kind of fall out. I could throw some more in there. I mean, that's how ridiculous I was, and I'm ashamed to even say these things, some of these things, because of my behavior. I just was too much. It's too much. So if I can, if my experience and my deal here could help just one guy get rid of those things that I went through for so long, that's a big win for me right there. That's a huge win. Seriously. Yeah. And I know there's tens of thousands. And your podcast, you were telling me earlier about how many folks that reach out and all that, and there's so many more that are afraid to reach out. So many more. Just holding it, you know what I mean, Harry? They're just holding it, or they haven't come across the right one, which would be me. I would come across many of people talking about being bald, solutions this, solutions that. I've never considered getting plugs. I know one of the things you usually go through with some of the guys. Did you consider plugs? Did you consider a hairpiece? Did you, some of these things? I thought about it. I did look into that stuff. It wasn't for me. I just thought, I'm gonna look you're gonna look like a baby doll with the plugs up in your head, you know, and actually putting something on my head. I just never thought I could. As I mentioned a while back, I just always thought, you know, I'm gonna shave one day. I'm gonna shave one day. And even when I'd say it, I kind of talked myself into it a little bit. I think so. You know, I think so. You know, and I think once it gets to that point, I even verbally said that to folks. Well, if I ever got bald, you know, I'm just gonna shave it. You know, I'm just gonna shave it. You know, but in my mind, I'm thinking, do I have enough topic?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, so now it's like I'm completely stripped, man. The emperor has lost his clothes, man. I'm here. This is me. You know, this is.
It's all out there now. You know, you're not hiding anything. That's why it just feels so. The word I'm looking for, I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue. It just feels such a freeing experience because it's all out there. You know, it's just done with, and it's just so much freedom that comes with it.
And it really is hard to explain. No, it is. Even you know, some of the chats and the lads you've had on here, you can tell they're very intelligent, you know, well-spoken fellas, and you can see they're still trying to find that word or that emotion that really that really tells you what just happened, you know. And I love it. I absolutely love it. And if there's any way I can ever help anyone, anytime, I would love to do that. You know, seriously. I mean, I go to places now and talk to people that are on heroin. People, I go to rehab places and just talk to young men, because I have a lot of men that work for me that's had checkered past, and I've been able to mentor them and help them, and their lives have completely changed. And so, and that's a bigger thing than just hair on your head. Obviously, this is life and death for a lot of those guys. But I found out through that those mentoring, those words sometimes can just make such a difference, man. Can make such a difference and have such power to change people's lives completely. You know, so this here is just a, you know, optics thing. You know, it's your hair, but it's really more than that, because it's in here. You know, it's in your mind, it's in your heart too. You know, and so I know that, you know, for sure. And to be made fun of as a young boy, you know, you had some boys on here talking about, you know, starting at 16, 17, 14, I think one of them was, you know, just very, very young age. And that's just that's a tough road. You know, it's a tough road for a young boy when he's trying to figure out the whole girl thing and or whatever thing. And so I try to put my heart in there, you know, and you know, and I don't mean to be mushy or anything, Harry, but
no, it's what you're talking. It's real. You know what you're talking about. This, you know, this whole hair loss thing, and you mentioned, it is just an aesthetic thing and an optics thing, like you said. It's about looks, but it has so many knock-on effects, you know, and it is really much more of a mental issue. It really is. And again, I've got to thank you. You know, we've literally in this video, we've seen you from where you were go through the whole process, and this video being out there, you know, sharing your experience, you know, it's not only going to help just one person, you know, because this is, like you said, helping those other guys. Just talking about it, just having someone to talk about it, or just hearing other people talk about it, you know, it really, really does help. It
brings it home, Harry. It brings it home, man. You know, it brings it home. This is something you can do, and you will definitely, I mean, you definitely feel so much better when you do it. You just cut it off, man. Just cut it off.
Yeah.
So thanks again, Harry. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. My wife wants to thank you, even though she's a chicken. She won't come out here. But in the videos, I know you haven't heard, but you can hear her giggling and carrying on. Is that a 1? Like, yes, it's a 1, honey. And I'm going at it, right? And she's got her little giggles going. And she's like, then at the end, she says, I said, so what do you think, baby? She says, sexy. You know, she gives me some word of encouragement. But seriously, Harry, I'm going to follow you still. I'm going to still follow you. And I'm going to encourage these boys and these men to go for it, man. Just go for it and own it and live your life well in other places, and let this get the hell off of you. Because it's
thank you. No, honestly, you know, Rick, I got to thank you as well. Again, for coming on, sharing this experience. If anyone, wants to reach out for you, reach out to you and things, I'll put your Instagram maybe down in the description box. And anyone who's watching or listening, reach out to Ricky, reach out to me. We'll help you through it. Any questions at all? 100%. And thank you for watching.
When they go to my Instagram now, they're gonna see me, who I am, and not there won't be 50, 60 hats. Pictures. Exactly. I got a hat on us. So so Harry, thank you so much, buddy. And anytime you want to reach out to me, I'm always available. I'm always there to help anyone. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone watching, listening. We will see you very soon. All the best. This has been honestly one of my favorite videos to put together. I've really enjoyed speaking to you, seeing you go through that transition. We've got a lot more work to do. The work continues. So we'll see you in the next video.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you this, and I'm telling you this from thousands and thousands of men and boys. You're a legend, brother. Seriously.
Thank you. Thank you, man. We'll speak soon. All right.
Take care, brother.
Take care.